At the start of the months-long marathon of ready-to-wear shows, an article by Suzy Menkes, one of the most influential fashion writers in the world, was published in the New York Times fashion magazine T. It was titled The Circus of Fashion, and overnight it was the talk of the fashion town, both in the front rows of the shows and on the web. The article raised a number of questions regarding bloggers, street photographers, and the importance of having critical eye when it comes to reviewing fashion shows. We turned our camera on the movers and shakers in the fashion world to hear, firsthand, their reaction to this hot topic article.
She's such a clever woman. She said a lot of things that are real, but doesn't mean they are wrong. You know, it depends how do you want to look at it. I think there is a professional people, like as I consider myself, that I always dressed up and I always gonna do the same things, and I used to do it also when I was not working as an editor. But and there is people that, you know, like vanity and fashion, it's one thing, it's linked, and thanks to vanity, fashion is still selling clothes. So I think it's actually fun to have all of the circus going on in front of the show.
Well, you know, first of all, I love Suzy. She's a great writer, she's a great critic of fashion, she has a huge knowledge of history. And I think some of her points were really good, I agree with her. Some others, not so much, you know, but it's different points of view, I think. It's different generation and it's different ways of seeing things, you know, and then she probably doesn't know all this new generation who's coming up as bloggers or people that are photographed. As my side, I can tell you that you can't help it. There's nothing you can do. I mean, people are doing their job. They're photographing you. They work for magazines. They're getting paid, and it's, for me, I've always been photographed, since many, many years. I never wear black, so I mean, truly, I never, ever dress black. So I've always dressed like this, and this has always been my style. I love colors, I love texture, I love to mix up things.
When I started to go to the shows, it was exactly when people were wearing black. To the beginning of the 2000s, it was everyone black. I never really loved to wear black because I come from South Italy and black means when someone died, you know. So I've always been in color all my life.
You know, I think she had some valid points. I think it is a little bit of a circus, but you know, that's part of the fun of it. You know, I think the part that it misses, you know, I read it very much as a kind of, you know, the good old days. It wasn't as crazy and all of that, but you know, in the old days, people didn't love fashion as much. You know, it was kind of very elitist and exclusive, and I think people didn't feel close to fashion the way they feel close to sports or music. And right now, I mean, I think you can see, you know, at this thing, people come out to the shows, they want to see the people, they want to be involved with the magic of fashion. People misunderstand. My photographs are not a stamp of saying this person has great style. It's never been that. That's why I hardly ever put their names. It's not a stamp. Hopefully my best photographs are romantic images that make people dream, and so sometimes it's not, you know, it's like the way that you're standing right now. You know, you're standing with your hand, there's a certain gesture, a certain romance about the way that you're standing, about the light, about the image itself. And the best images, I think, are rarely just about the clothes. I think it's the overall dream that it creates. And so I don't feel a responsibility at all other than to take pictures that and publish pictures that I feel strongly about, and everybody can make their own story about that.
I agree with her that it is a circus, and I mean, I have to work in the circus, and every season it just gets crazy and crazier. I mean, I can understand how people are interested in the idea of being part of it, because fashion has become more democratic.
But what about girls who change, like, I don't know, 5 times per day just to be photographed?
I mean, the point I always make about that is, who cares? I mean, what does it matter? You know, we'll never remember how many times they changed, 50 years from now. And I guess it's a difference for me. I shoot a lot of unknown people. I was the first one to really shoot Anna Della Russo, first one to shoot Giovanna. Yes. But, I didn't put their names on it.
I mean, it's good for us because we have more things to photograph. But I mean, I think it's a bit crazy when you change 4 times a day or change every show.
I don't want to be distracted by that, but I think that's just my choice, not to be. I don't pay attention to it. Mm-hmm. I walk into the shows. I have to dodge a few people to get into the shows. I find it odd in a way, but it is a different media age, and we've seen since Facebook and Twitter and all of the development of social media that people can turn themselves into a brand. But again, it's not too new.
Aren't you tired of the thing that people come to the shows not to judge, but to be judged themselves?
Well, I think this is what has changed in this business. It's kind of hard to say that you are tired. That's the new reality, so you have to deal with it. Sure, I find difficult to deal with people with strong opinion that don't have any history and don't have any responsibilities. And that's what